Today we're talking about freedom and liberty. The concepts of freedom and liberty are often confused, mingled, or simply and blatantly meshed together in our modern usage. The definitions are likewise confusing in that often writers, when discussing freedom, will use liberty in their arguments, and vice versa. I suggest that based on early writings and teachings from both religious and secular thinkers, today's philosophers, academics, and theologians can frame the two concepts by aligning them as freedom from something and liberty to something. For example, you are free to roam the countryside without restraint, but you do not have the liberty to enter someone's cabin without permission. So looking at the freedom from as a concept, I ask you to analyze the following statement. You are free from restraints to wander as you please. By virtue of humanity's moral compass and advanced reasoning skills, freedom is as simple and as natural as gravity in physics. This was argued as by Aristotle, Plato, Plutarch, and others. As written about by Scott. Thomas Jefferson equated the same natural freedoms as the basis for his First Amendment of the Constitution, guaranteeing the freedom of religion, the right for people to worship without interference by the state, and that's referenced, of course, by Thomas Jefferson. Livy gives an example of the denial of religious freedom when he reports on the burning of religious texts that went against the government doctrine. The Apostle John quotes Jesus as saying that whereby man is a slave of sin, therefore without freedom and without the promise of salvation, but through Jesus, the Son makes you free. You are free indeed. Now, when discussing liberty as a concept, we shift from our natural state of being free and look at the man-made rules which define how we can function as a free people. Laws, societal norms, civic duty, and even religious doctrine help define our liberty. While we are free to be American by various occurrences like birth, marriage, naturalization, it's by law that you have the liberty to vote, or the liberty to legally drive, or the liberty to own a piece of land. You can't claim those as natural rights in this day and age. You have to have them bestowed upon you. To sum up, it's sometimes tricky to differentiate between liberty and freedom. Even the Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Christian churches in Galatia, used them in the same sentence when he wrote, "Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty by which Christ has made us free, and do not be entangled again with the yoke of bondage." That's, of course, in Galatians in the New Testament. However, by analyzing that sentence, you see him reference the lack of freedom through the bondage of sin separate, but the liberty of salvation, the breaking of those bonds through Jesus Christ. Thank you for listening. I hope you have a great day.